Recording this.
Right. So now our recording missed the meme though. So I'll see if I can dial it back a slide. Okay. And share screen.
Nice.
Okay. Well, this is the slide now. So, so hi everybody. Yesterday we had the grand opening for the Ridgefield office. There's the Ridgefield crew. Thank you to everybody who came out. We had a nice turnout. Driving there in hail and thinking, well, I don't know what we're going to do because it's a very small space. And Gus bestowed upon us some sunshine for the exact amount of time we needed to get the ribbon cut. And
Because you're a lucky girl.
I am a very lucky girl and everything goes my way. And Gus is me covering my bases. God, universe, spirit. It's all in one. Whoever it is that's in charge of these things, Gus did a good job. So we had some sun and we didn't have to have 40 people inside eating barbecue.
Which rocked, by the way.
The barbecue was really good. If you ever come out to the Ridgefield office to do floor time or hang out or whatever, we're right across the street from the food trucks. And the woman who owns and is the chef of Sugar's barbecue truck right across the street, her name is Sue, and she is a Chopped champion. So if you ever watch Chopped,
it was their business partner, but yes.
Yes, one of them is, there's two chefs and one of them won Chopped. So, yep. And they made us some yummy stuff yesterday.
And I confirmed that the music is Wednesdays from 4 to 6. It's a standard thing.
They had live music yesterday from 4 to 6 in the food truck pod. And it was lovely. The girl it was just one woman with an acoustic guitar and her playlist was on fire. She did, she had some U2, she had some Fleetwood Mac, she had some Guns N' Roses. I mean, she had it all on her acoustic guitar. It was great.
Awesome.
So let's look at some numbers. We finished the first quarter of 2023 in the number 25 spot for all of Clark County. Now, this does not include any sales that we did in Cowlitz or Skamania, because if I open it, we don't do enough in outlying areas to compete with the people who focus on the outlying areas. So when I run our numbers, I just run it for Clark County since that's our predominant wheelhouse. So we are in the number 25 spot. We were there last month as well. And that's year to date. So Q1, number 25 brokerage. I'm very proud of that. And I appreciate all of you for helping us get there. If you look at the other people in the top 25, it's the big names. I mean, it's mostly big names. We're one of the very smallest in that list. And everybody is feeling the pinch right now of things are so slow and I don't have anything going. And that is universal in our brokerage. Everybody's feeling slow, except for Tony, who's not on here. Tony just had 4 offers accepted over the last weekend, 4 in one weekend. But so things pop, they pop when they pop. But for us to be, our numbers to be as slow as they are compared to last year, and us to be in the number 25 spot is just your sign that everybody is in a slowdown. And so we are holding our own. And for that, I am very grateful. And there we are on the graph, because if you fall into 31 or below, you're not on the top of the graph anymore. So I like to be in the graph. And you can see, I mean, once you get out of like the top 10, everybody is just kind of hovering in the same sales numbers. So that's where we are. A couple of little new things. At the Uptown office, I set up a little free library in the conference room. It's on the credenza, and there's a basket on the bottom shelf with books in it. If you want to borrow a book, or if you have any books like self-help or real estate books or business books that you want to share with others, feel free to put them in that basket. Right now there's 5 or 6 in there, and I am doing a closet clean out at my house this weekend. And I know I've got another half dozen books to bring over. So if you're looking for anything to kind of work your brain muscle, grab a book and give it a whirl. If you have any to bring in, bring them in. I've also got, I think there's 3 or 4 handouts in there that are a big fat stack of printed out papers that are the locker room script book. So if you're ever looking for some scripts, grab a copy of that to review, because it's just chock full of scripts for every scenario. So bring your books, bring a book, take a book. And they are in the conference room. Okay, another new thing is, if you haven't noticed, you've gotten a newsletter from me twice. The goal is for it to go out on Sunday nights or Monday morning. If you have something you want me to put in there to share with the other agents in the brokerage, get it to me before Saturday night. So if you've got a listing going live that week that you want extra help with, or if you have a fundraiser at your kid's school, whatever, if it's something you want to share with the other agents, just get it to me on Saturday and it'll go in on Sunday. I appreciate the people that have taken the time to give me feedback on this. I don't want to do it if nobody wants it. It's not self-generating. I'm making it for us, trying to keep everybody kind of focused on what's coming up for the week. So if you find it is not helpful, shoot me a message and say, yeah, email's not the way to get to me. I'm trying to find how to get to everybody. Communication has been one of the biggest challenges, and that's with us being, hovering at 50 people. So I want to have a really good system in place for our inter-office communication. So this is what I'm trying. I'm going to do it for a month, and then kind of, if it doesn't have at least a 50% open rate, then I'll stop and we'll try something else. So that's what we're doing. It's just a newsletter for the week. So anything that's happening in the brokerage that week, but I'm totally open to putting other things in it. So if you have something you want to put in that is at least somewhat related, I mean, preferably real estate related or supporting a nonprofit. The April calendar has been out for the whole month. So that's another way that I'm trying to stay in touch with everybody. So if you don't have access to that, you don't know where to find it, let me know. And that's where the April calendar lives. It is the cover photo in the think tank. And the think tank is also a way that I'm trying to communicate with everybody. And so then I get people who say, oh, I didn't know we were having that. I didn't know we were doing a grand opening. And it's like, well, it was all over Facebook. Well, I'm not on Facebook. Okay, I respect that you're not on Facebook. I just don't know how to reach everybody. So if you've got ideas, I was liking that the app, the Meta business app, which was kind of like a Facebook group thing, and it's by Facebook, but it was only free for a short time, and then it became a paid service, and I didn't feel like enough people were using it for me to purchase it. So again, anybody who has ideas on the best way to have some inter-office communication, share them with me, because I am looking. A couple of people have suggested Slack, and then an equal number of people have said, I won't do Slack. So
please don't do Slack or Teams. I don't want to have to download anything else. I think you do layers. I feel like if someone's not caught by Facebook, they'd be caught by the newsletter. I don't know. And then you get the physical calendar at the office. There's lots of ways.
That's what I'm hoping, is that everybody gets it. Yeah, Betsy?
So I was just gonna say, you're right, we've tried kind of everything, and there are some people that they've even told me, I've had people say, I just dumped my email box, I don't read half of what I get.
Yeah.
And when we were looking at that last transaction software one it even had a dashboard for us to be able to communicate with everybody that was similar to Slack, but we're not going to be able to catch everybody. And hopefully I would think that the level that you've taken it, I mean, you try really hard to get everybody, and some people are just going to get missed because they just don't want to be in communication.
Yeah, I need people to be proactive. I mean, you have to want to know what's going on for me to give you the information of what's going on. So,
yep.
But I'm definitely, I mean, in the age that we live in, there's something new every week. So if anybody sees something new and fabulous, always suggest it and we will give it a look.
Yep, because we've tried out a lot of things. So if you see something, usually Shanna will try it and poke at us and say, tell me what you think. And we test it out and see how, it feels, or if it's functioning the way it's supposed to. So.
And part of the reason that this is important to me right now is I need to grow. I need to grow our brokerage. We're awesome right now, and it's a scary prospect to get bigger. But I mean, just full disclosure with you guys, I need to pay myself a salary. And starting a new business, like my expectation is it takes a couple of years to get up and running before I'm going to earn money. So now we're in our third year and I'm ready to have a salary. So, and there's two ways to do that: increase fees or increase agents. And my choice is increase agents. So we are no longer, also, while we're talking about fees, we are not the cheapest in town. More Realty has somehow found a way to do $400 transaction fees. It is not my goal to be the cheapest brokerage in town. It's my goal to provide really good service to my agents at a good price where they're still keeping enough money in their pockets to contribute into the community. Like, I want everybody who works at Cascadia, when they get a check, it's not just enough to eke by, it's enough to give to your church, support your kids' school. Like, that's what, for me, helping everybody else make more money is community building, because it's just, and we are mostly women, with a few of the elite males of Clark County who meet our standards, because there's a lot of dudes in real estate who do not meet our standards. And it's a statistically, it's been shown, I read it in a study, I'm not making it up. Women who earn more money are bigger community builders. It's just across the board. When a woman earns more money, she gives back on a greater level than her male counterparts. And so as a predominantly female brokerage, the more money you make, the better we're helping our community. That's my goal. But yeah, we're not the cheapest in town, and I can't recruit to that, because if somebody wants to not pay any fees, they can go somewhere and do that and not get any support. So I do want to find a way to build. I mean, 100 agents puts us in a really good spot. Okay. Mark, congratulations on being one of the elite males of Clark County, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I will tell you that most of the guys who are a good fit with us are also good husbands and girl dads. So those things.
All right. I like it.
That's part of the vibe. Okay. So growth mode. How can you help me grow? If you have ideas for recruiting, if you have ideas of things that I can do, if you know a kick-ass agent you want me to talk to, please, I am all ears.
Also, with that last Facebook thing, the Meta thing that you were trying.
Yes.
I did not realize that was an app until literally like the day before you were done with it. I was like, oh
yeah.
I just thought it was part of Facebook. I didn't realize it was its own app.
Yeah, and it was a cool app, but just I didn't get enough people on board with it to pay for it. And I didn't realize that it was a paid app. I mean, it let me set it up for free. It never said this was a trial. So I'm like, oh, perfect. This is a Facebook thing that we can use. But yeah, we'll find something. And in the meantime, like I said, I need people to be proactive. This is kind of the example of preaching to the choir. I'm talking to the people right now who are proactive. It's people that are going to say, oh, I didn't know we had a meeting the third Thursday of every month that I'm trying to reach. Couple of events coming up. Happy hour today at 3:30 at the Washougal office. And it is a learning happy hour. Mark, what is the name of the app? Because you use it.
Forever Farm.
Forever Farm. It's a title company sponsored app, which I've heard really good things about. I personally have not tried it.
I use it too, and I love it.
Yeah, Bridget Nolan will be
I
there.
have it through Stewart Title, but the guy, I tried to get Jackie set up on it, and the guy would never call her.
I set you guys up on it last year, Mark. When you
no, Forever Farm was something that Stewart Title set me up on.
It's not the FNF?
No.
Oh, well, the one
that what ended up happening was that guy left Stewart Title, and he just totally ghosted everyone. And so I've got somebody else working on that now. But I didn't realize that Bridget, that Chicago had Forever Farm.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's not the same app as we use like to do our net sheets and stuff. This one is just all about farming for prospects.
Yeah.
And so
can I clarify, or will you clarify for me? Is it different than the FNF tool that Chicago Title has?
If you're using the same tool that I'm using, which is like the agent app for doing net sheets and stuff, that's the only tool I'm using. So I don't know.
Mark, the Forever Farm, is that different than what we're going to see today, or what you guys are going to see?
I don't know what FNF is. I just know what Forever Farm is. And it's the thing about Forever Farm is that you pay for a farm one time, but it's constantly updating. So as people come into the area, leave the area, or become a hot mover, they, shift around on the farm, but they, it's cool because it's always something where you can tell who in this area is going to be a hot mover, which is the most likely to move in the next 18 months, stuff like that.
Yeah. So that's what Bridget is going to be sharing at the happy hour in Washougal today.
Okay. And that sounds like maybe FNF has been renamed, because that's exactly what the FNF tool does. And they had set me up on it like a year and a half ago. And
my understanding is that Fidelity National, I don't know.
We're just going to say it's Fidelity National. So maybe it's Fidelity National Farming.
Yeah. So it's
and Chicago and Fidelity are the same company. Mark,
yeah, I think it's just a different name, or they've updated it and changed the name. I don't know. But anyway, she will be there sharing that. And from what I've heard, it is a good tool to have if you want to do some farming. So if you're not able to make it to that happy hour, reach out to your favorite title person. If you don't have a favorite title person, reach out to Bridget and just see if it's something, most of your title people are happy to get together one-on-one and get you set up with things. So that's happening today, 3:30 Washougal. Next week on Tuesday, it is Taco Tuesday at Evergreen Home Loans. Usually there's a speaker, but it looks like this time it's going to be a game instead of a speaker. It's going to be teams playing Family Feud, answering questions about.
I'm scared. It's going to be really funny.
It's going to be funny,
but educational at the same time.
So that's happening on Tuesday. If you're available, the address is right there at the bottom, and I'll also post this in the Think Tank group. And it, I think, went out in the newsletter email. So the tacos are usually pretty dang good. It's usually a good lunch and a little good information thrown into the mix. So thank you, Evergreen, for doing that. It's always the last Tuesday of the month, Angela, is that right?
Yeah, and if you can RSVP just so we know how many spaces to have for food, that'd be
Okay,
appreciated. So I see that Maggie's coming.
perfect. Yeah, just let Angela know if you want to make it to that so that they
If we
have
can
a
get
taco.
Carly to stay late, I could be there because I'm 1 to 5 that day.
Yeah, Carly would stay. I'll speak for Carly since she couldn't get on the call.
Well, then I'll be there.
All right, there you go. 2 RSVPs.
Cameron said she'd come, so I'm at 3.
Sweet. Always, every Tuesday you have the opportunity to log on to the locker room national coaching call. This is what the topic is on next Tuesday. I post the topics every week in the think tank and I share them in the newsletter now. So if a topic looks good to you, you should jump on. It's at 11 o'clock every Tuesday, TLR Zoom. You don't need to RSVP. You don't need to register for it. You just get on. It is a live event. It's not a webinar. They're generally recorded, but it is a live event. Also, no, I didn't really make a slide for it, but if anybody wants access to the locker room who doesn't have it, reach out to me and I will get you set up because like I said, these things are always recorded. So if there's a topic where you're like, oh, I really wanted to be in on that and I wasn't available at that time, you can always go into the locker room and watch the video. So let me know if you don't have a locker room access. Honestly, I didn't set everybody up because a lot of people were just not interested in the platform with the learning tools. So ask me for it if you want it, and I'm happy to get you hooked up. Next week on the 26th at noon, we've got our mastermind, Brown Bag Mastermind at the Uptown office. And Angela, this is the one where you're going to teach us how to use GIS.
Yeah, sorry that didn't work out last month, but it's a very hot topic and there's so much to gather from GIS. I wanted to make sure we had enough time, so that's what we'll be doing. And that is Rosie, very excited about it.
Very excited to learn about the GIS. I'm always excited actually to learn about a free tool that I know I use it, but I know that I'm not using it to its fullest potential. And so I definitely know that there are tricks for me to learn in that.
It's very scary how much information is available. It's to our benefit as real estate and lending professionals, but I'm kind of horrified as a human being.
Yes, our information's out there. So that event and the happy hour and usually 99% of anything we do are open to any other industry professionals. So if you've got somebody that you want to invite, you are more than welcome to do that. So just putting that out there. And when I invite people, I do tell them these are not recruiting events. Of course, I want them to come and join us, but I don't invite people in and then try to give them the hard sell on the brokerage. That's not what I'm about. Our brokerage sells itself. Our people sell themselves. When people come to our events, we are recruiting through attraction. So you are welcome to invite people and you can tell them this is not a recruiting event, because nobody's going to go after them with the hard sell. I do genuinely believe the better we make all of the agents in our community, the better it is for us personally, because you're going to be working with those fools on the other side of a transaction who you're wishing had come in and learned how to do what you know how to do. So self-preservation. And then on the 27th next week, we have a CEU class, so you get 3 Washington continuing education credits. In order to give continuing education credit in the state of Washington, the class has to be a minimum of 3 hours in length. So that is why it is a 3-hour class. It is not because I like to hear myself talk for 3 hours, because I do not. So it is from 10 to 1 on Thursday, the 27th. I do have a mortgage broker joining us that just wanted to give her an opportunity to meet a couple of agents. And I wanted to give Angela a break from always buying our lunch. So we have a woman whose name I can't remember right now, and I can't remember where she works either, but very nice gal. And she was going to buy she's sponsoring lunch. So if you come, there will be food. If you have dietary restrictions, you are on your own. This is not an ADA compliant event. This is a free lunch that cannot accommodate everybody's dietary restrictions. So
Is it possibly going to be held over Zoom as well?
You can't get continuing education credits for it over Zoom because it isn't registered for that with the state. Okay. Yeah, it's only registered with the state for in-person CEUs. But if you wanted to come and you just need somebody to cover the Ridgefield office, I can help you figure it out.
Okay.
So we're going to be going over the Washington purchase and sale forms, the Form 21, all the addenda that generally go with it. And then we will have a lender speaking to what should and shouldn't cross her desk in the form of repair addendum. And we're going to also be, besides just reviewing the forms, I'm also going to kind of role play with you how I explain the forms to my buyers. So that is what we're going to do in that class.
Shanna?
Yes,
I have a
ma'am.
question. I'm unfortunately going to miss that class, but I really, is there another time, maybe in the early summer, that you could hold this again, or can you record it? And if I don't get the CEUs, it's fine.
Yeah, I'll figure something out. It's a good topic, so doing more than once is fine by me. If we, and especially if we can do it and then people will say, yeah, that was a really good, we need that, then maybe more people would come to it the second time around, because it's honestly something everybody needs a refresher on. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I may record it. Like I said, we won't be able to do CEUs on the recording, but still you'll get the information.
I know that Annie Fitzsimmons is having something, is that different, coming up? They're doing, like, I think, forms review also.
Yeah, she's doing a 2-day live event. And that actually Carly and I are both going to that. So
are you? Okay.
Yeah, we'll bring, and anybody's welcome to go to it, but we'll bring back information from that too. That's the one, she does that periodically, and it's called Draft Like a Lawyer. And so it's just kind of what you can and can't do with forms. I see people get super creative on a Form 34, and that's a legal document that you are held to the standard of an attorney when you fill it out for that form, because you're a real estate agent and you're held to the standard of an attorney when you're filling out real estate forms. And just because you use a little bit of weird language doesn't make it right. I'll see people getting fancy, like buyer shall this, or, it's like, you can just word it in plain English, but you need to know what your parameters are, because it's a legal document and it's binding. So that's what the Annie class is more about, the legalities of the forms.
Oh, okay.
Yes, some people do get very creative. And yes, so Betsy, it sounds like we may just do that class twice. Do it now and then do it a second time. And maybe I'll record it too. I don't know. It's hard to record the live ones because I'm not sitting in front of my computer like this. And so it doesn't translate very well. Okay, that was everything that I had to share with everybody. Does anybody have any haves or wants or needs with clients? You have a listing that you need some input on, or you have a buyer looking for something that you want to ask about? Now is your chance to unmute and ask the group for help on whatever you need help on.
I would love input on Cameron and I's listing. I know it's priced too high. I have advised the seller. I know it is. I would love concrete feedback that I can share with him to kick him in the ass to lower the price. I have communicated with him multiple times. It's our listing at 1101 Northeast 152nd. Or 151st. Angela.
I would recommend having him pay, or you guys even pay for a private appraisal to show him. These are the comps. This is what a real estate professional, that way he doesn't get mad at you. He's mad at the appraiser.
I will definitely recommend it again. And I might have to just pay for it myself because he is just resisted every single thing I've advised, but I will definitely suggest it again and may pay for it myself.
I
'Cause
would
it's not
say
moving.
have a broker's open or
Okay.
just a broker tour day and invite agents and ask them to fill out a feedback form and give him all of the feedback forms from real estate professionals.
Okay,
Say,
We're
this is what I'm getting.
excellent. We were planning on doing, I sent him an email about a price reduction the other day. And then said that once we did the price reduction, I would do another open house and do it on a next weekend to try to get more people in. I've refreshed advertising. We're getting showings. But not,
Yeah.
and nobody's given negative feedback. It's just, it's not happening. It's not moving and it's price and I know it. And I told them that at the beginning.
Yeah.
So I thank you for that. I will definitely do that. Yeah, Mark.
Oh, you're muted, Mark. You got to unmute.
I have another question if you guys are done
Yeah.
there.
And thank you.
How long do you have to put like pending on a listing if it's under contract? Because I've got a property that it's like a perfect property for a client that I'm trying to, find something for. And I contacted the agent because there was zero showing instructions. It's like, oh, that's under contract. It just went under contract here a couple days ago. And I'm like, okay, but it still shows as active. When is it actually pending? Are you thinking maybe you're looking at the wrong, property? But he said, no, that's under contract. And I just need to know.
I think it's 20, is it 24 hours? Is it? Yeah, you've got 24 hours to mark it pending.
Okay.
And you can always, if you want to, there's a button in RMLS that'll say like flag this listing or something, and you can just click it and say, agent says this is pending, but has an updated status.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Anybody have anything else? Betsy, you could also reach out to Jennifer Tomez. And because I think they were still looking for properties to put on the broker's tour for next month. And then that gives you a lot of feedback from agents.
Okay, that might be good.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, even though it's not received negative feedback, the house needs it. I mean, it's not $1 million property with the way, and you can ask Cameron, like there's so many things that need touched up. I'm almost embarrassed. I mean, I am embarrassed sometimes at the state of this house because he didn't do all the things he said he was going to and took it out of our hands midway through repairs list. So I'm a little embarrassed to have a lot of people see it, but I'll reach out and suggest it to her.
Yeah.
You have to pay the buyer's agent more to get them more interested in it.
We are paying the buyer's agent more right now. We've upped it. If I pay the buyer's agent anymore, Cameron and I won't make anything because it's already a discount listing that we should not have taken. We shouldn't have taken it, but.
Yeah, and that's the lesson to take away from it is if it feels like a bad deal, it's probably going to be a bad deal.
Yep. Oh, for sure.
All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody. And I will see you around the office. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Have a good day.
Stop.
Bye all.